YouTube ads aren't magic, but they are the most underused lead gen tool in real estate right now. But here's the thing no one tells you. They're not for everyone. And truthfully, most agents using YouTube ads are doing it completely wrong. But when you get it right, when you actually crack the code, you have sellers coming to you every single month actually ready to list their home. I've spent over $50,000 on YouTube ads in the past few months, and I'm just gonna break it all down for you. What works, what doesn't, and whether it's even worth it or just a waste of money. And I honestly don't care if you work with me or not. I just wanna give you the raw, unfiltered truth. So let's dive in. Okay, so how do YouTube ads even work? That's a good question. A lot of realtors who I speak with have no clue how they even work, and therefore don't even understand what a YouTube ad is. So I'm gonna try my best to show you. What I'll tell you is there's a couple different types of YouTube ads out there. You can do some that are focused on growing your channel. Others, which is what I primarily focus on, is actually getting you in front of them serious and motivated sellers in your market. That's what I find most realtors prefer, because I'm assuming you'd rather have $100,000 than 100,000 views on a video, right? Everyone wants more money. Anyways, here's a quick breakdown of how they work. So basically, and I broke this down as stupid simple as possible, and I can go over this more in depth later, but basically, the first part, we're targeting motivated homeowners in your specific market. You can do neighborhoods, cities, zip codes, and we're targeting these people based on what they're actually searching. So if they're searching up, how can I sell my home fast? Homes for sale near me. And we also know that they own a home because it's all run through Google Ads. YouTube's owned by Google. So we know, okay, this person's motivated to sell their home. These are the only people we're going to show our YouTube ad to. Next, from there, your video is going to play before the content they're already interested in. So it's not like they're searching up how to sell my home on YouTube. It's if they ever search it up on Google, if they ever click on stuff about selling their home, whatever video they watch on YouTube they're going to see your video pop up before that. You probably saw one before this video right here. It probably wasn't to sell your home unless you're interested in selling your home and looking stuff up. But that's how it would work. You would see it before your video. You have 5 seconds. You have to watch it, and then you can skip it, which is why the hook is so important. I'm not going to go into that now. I have other videos on that, but that's the way the video actually looks like. From there, they click to your landing page from your strong offer. So the way you were getting their information, for most cases, unless you have some huge personal brand, some really unique selling proposition, like a 1% listing commission, like an agent I just spoke with, you're going to need to provide value and provide something of value to get these people to actually want to click on your ad. Because if you're not offering anything, why would they click on your ad? Right? So that's something as well. You need to have a strong offer. The better your offer is, the more leads you're going to get, the more listings you're going to get. And the last part is you're getting inbound appointments from people who already trust you. The big part of YouTube ads and the whole thing, just video in general, it's all about trust. Real estate is fully relationship based. People go with the realtor they trust the most. And how do you build trust? It's by providing value and standing out. So if you're just posting a generic list of homes or some image ad, they're gonna be like, oh, I saw Sally, I saw John, I saw Kevin post this exact same thing. So how are you different? You're not. But the thing about video, nobody else is you. Nobody can replicate what you're offering, and therefore you're providing a unique selling proposition because you're standing out from all the other realtors in your market, and therefore getting the most serious people who already resonate you to just book right on your calendar without you having to reach out in the first place. So that's a super high level overview of YouTube ads. Again, I didn't get super technical, but I find a lot of agents have questions on what a YouTube ad even is. So I hope that helps. So now that we're all on the same page, we know what a YouTube ad actually is. Why are there a lot of realtors who are skeptical of YouTube ads? Well, it's a great question. And I'm going to start off by saying, first of all, realtors are skeptical of everything. There's so much stuff out there. Everyone's selling you, oh, we have the best thing in the world. We have the best leads in the world. And you don't know what to believe, right? Because 95% of the time people are lying. So I try to stay away from that. I try to give you just the most transparent version of everything as possible. That's what I'm trying to do. So really the main things that I see why realtors are skeptical of YouTube ads though, is they think it costs a ton of money. It's harder to set up than Facebook ads. I get this, older demographics aren't on YouTube and they don't really have a clue how they work. Well, first of all, now you have an idea how they work. I just kind of showed you. Older demographics aren't on YouTube. And I'm just going to kind of go through these and kind of just address these. Now, what I'll say is one notable thing that comes to mind is one of my agents I'm working with in Vegas. She got a $1.75 million listing. The lady was like 75 years old, right? And she saw it on YouTube. It was like in 28 or 29 days or something of running ads together. But she was like 78 years old. So I will say you'd be surprised. There is older people on YouTube. Maybe not as much as Facebook, but it for sure still is there. And it's all intent based, which is how we're able to reach those motivated homeowners and sellers in your market. Harder to set up than Facebook ads. I will say it is harder to set up than Facebook ads. There is more skill involved. I don't want to make it seem like I'm LeBron James or something, but there is definitely more skill involved. It's harder. It's not as straightforward just because you need to get the video right, all that stuff. But I literally show you exactly how to do that on this channel. You can go ahead and just copy all my stuff. I show you how to do it step by step. And then a lot of people think it's super, super expensive. And the reason they see this is because the lead cost on YouTube is going to be much higher than something like Facebook. But if you've tried Facebook leads, let me ask you, what's your conversion rate with those leads? Typically, from what I've seen, it's about 1%. So 1 out of 100 leads that you get from Facebook is going to actually turn into a deal, right? So unless you have hours every single day to commit to calling these leads, it's really just not worth it. What I've seen with YouTube ads, a typical conversion rate, of course, it depends agent to agent, the skill level that you have, is about 10 to 15%. That's what we're shooting for. That's, pretty typical. So the cost per lead's higher, yes, but also the conversion rate is 10 times higher than on something like Facebook, for example. So it's really not a valid, it's almost like a false perception. Yes, the cost per lead's higher, but then once you get the conversions, what I found, the ROI is a lot higher, and it's just a lot easier to convert these leads because they already know, like, and trust you. So next, we're going to follow this little slide, what most marketers won't tell you. So, and I'm just going to be, again, I take a very honest, straightforward approach. First of all, YouTube ads are not for everyone. What I'm going to tell you right now is if you are a newer agent, don't have much sales experience, don't have a process of converting leads, and are doing at least about 6-ish deals a year at the least, I don't think you should touch YouTube ads. These are definitely for more established agents or agents who have a background in sales and a proven process to convert these leads, because YouTube leads, these are not ones that you want to mess around with. These are going to be some of the highest quality leads you'll see online. And that's what I've been told by the agents I work with. And that's what I always strive for, quality over quantity 100% of the time. So having said that, if you don't have a good track record, I wouldn't recommend you do YouTube ads because it's going to be tough for you. You're going to spend a pretty decent amount per lead, and you're not going to have the easiest time converting them if you don't have a process in place. Having said that, if you are an agent who is able to convert leads, you're confident in your ability, you're going to have a field day with this. As long as you're calling the leads and you know what you're doing, you're going to absolutely crush it with YouTube ads. That's what I've seen. Second thing, it's not magic. I'm not going to go out and tell you, oh, you're going to get 4 listings in your first month. Yes, that can happen, but I give very realistic expectations. The way it works is, okay, we want to aim for a 7 to 8 times ROI. So if your average commission price is 15 grand, my math isn't great, but you should be willing to spend $2,000 to $2,500 on ads to make that $15,000 back. So that's kind of how anything works. You need to reverse engineer it. Nothing's magic. There's no silver bullet. People are selling you, oh, this next get rich quick scheme. This is not that. Just like anything, you need to actually put in the work, actually call a handful of leads you get a month. If you do that, you're going to be successful. But again, it's not magic. It's not a get rich quick scheme like how some people may portray it. And then lastly, it takes testing. The amount of testing that I do, you guys probably wouldn't believe, but you need to be constantly split testing different videos, different audiences, different landing pages, all that sort of stuff. And again, on my channel, I show you how to do that. But this is what I primarily do with all the agents that I work with, is a lot of testing on the back end, because that's what's most important. And if you're not testing, you're honestly just losing so much money. Your opportunity cost of not testing is extremely high, right? So you need to make sure you're testing. You need to make sure you're optimizing your results. You're optimizing the money that you're putting in, right? You want to maximize your dollar bill. If you're not testing, you're losing money. You're missing out on a ton of money. Now, what are some problems that I see with YouTube ads? What I'll tell you right away is most realtors give up after one failed test. They run an ad for 4 days. Oh, I didn't get a single lead. I'm going to turn it off. I'm never going to speak of YouTube ads again. That's like if you ever had a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you didn't marry, which is rare, right? But in 8th grade, let's say you had a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they were kind of off. You didn't really it kind of ended wrong. Did you just say, okay, I'm done with men. I'm done with women? No, like, right? You went out and you kept trying. So it's just about finding the right process. And that is the same with anything. So after one failed test, that now you're learning. Every time you fail with something like this, you're learning what to do next time, how to optimize it. This is something I would help out with. I have videos on my channel again after all this, but you can't make emotional decisions, especially with ads like this. You need to see it very analytically and just read the data, see it for what it is. Now, another problem I see is if you have a bad video, if you're not great on video, you're just gonna be wasting your money. Even if you have the perfect targeting, the perfect landing pages, it doesn't matter. That's why YouTube ads have a higher barrier to entry, is because you need to have a decent video. And when I say video, a lot of people think, oh, like the energetic agent, hey, come work with me, I'll sell your house. That's not how you need to be at all. I have some agents who have very corporate backgrounds. They were CEOs, and they are very different from your typical so-called realtor who's very outgoing, very energetic. What I found though is as long as as long as you're not speaking like you're just reading off a script, you're not speaking like a robot, and you're just being yourself, you're just letting it flow out, you're gonna do well with it. Because the thing is, you attract what you put out. So if you're an outgoing realtor, you're gonna attract outgoing people. But if you're more introverted, you're gonna attract introverts, and that's what you want. You want people who resonate with you for being who you are. And that's the whole point of it. So a lot of agents they're, oh, I'm not great on video, I'm not super energetic. Well, that's not a problem. That's awesome, because then you're going to bring in people who are like you. So don't sweat the video at all. The main thing is that you need to be at least a little comfortable in front of the camera, and you need to make sure it flows smoothly, right? It doesn't have to be perfect. People like just the genuine, authentic, kind of raw feel of things. So as long as you can do that, like you're having a conversation with a friend, that's kind of how you should see it. How I tell my agents that I work with to kind of position it, like just speak to the camera like you're speaking with a buddy, right? And that's going to do really well. You do that, you're going to do really well with YouTube ads. But if you have a bad video, it's just going to be a waste of your time, to be honest, and a waste of your money. And lastly, like agencies overpromise you without explaining the learning curve. So with YouTube ads, especially, the first 1 to 2 to 3 weeks are usually the slowest. In some cases, like I get listing appointments in the first week. Like an agent in Ontario, we've gotten 2 or 3 listing appointments in the last 8 days or so, in the first 8 days of running ads. But having said that, like every market's different. The first couple weeks are usually the slowest, because it takes time for the algorithm to kind of learn, okay, who are we bringing in? And once it sees, okay, this is a good lead, this is a really solid person, it doubles down on that and it learns, and it's only going to show it to people who are like that. So you need to give it time. And again, that's why you can't just give up after running the ads for 4 days, don't get a single lead. This is one of the biggest problems I see. And I'm not saying it's just you guys. I used to have it as well. I would see, oh, 2 days, don't have a single lead. Let me turn the ads off. Let me go cross my fingers and sulk in the corner, right? That just doesn't work. You need to know the metrics. You need to know what you're willing to spend on an ad. I'm not going to go into that now. You guys are probably going to think I'm too nerdy, but I have other videos on that again. But you just need to expect to not be successful in the first week. Obviously, it's great, but if you're expecting that it's not going to go great the first week or two, you're going to be pleasantly surprised once you do get a listing in the first 2 weeks, a listing appointment in the first 2 weeks, right? So I'm very clear that there is always a learning curve with it. With anything new, anything you try, riding a bike, you weren't perfect the first time. It's no different with this. But again, you can fast track it if you do work with someone who's done it, but just make sure you find someone who's setting the right expectations and not positioning it as a get rich quick scheme. Because again, nothing's like that. Next up, here's some real numbers and data. I wanted to show you just real numbers, kind of real results, text messages and stuff, so you get a feel for the YouTube ads. So this is Mike. I think he's had 2 or 3 listing appointments in the first 8 or 9 days or so of running ads. You can see the leads here. This is the first 8 days, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really solid leads. I think 3 of these are listing appointments. That's awesome. They're obviously still coming in. This is a couple days ago, but yeah, it's just the quality of leads that we're bringing in are super high quality when you have the right video. Having said that, Mike did a great job on video, and that's what you need. If you have that, you're going to do really well with it. You have the right process. We're doing all the testing on the back end, like I talk about, but if you do that, you're going to do really well. And this was a $1.75 million listing on the 29th day with that 70, I think she was 75 or 76 years old. And then here's some actual numbers as well. So you can see the cost per lead, it's a bit higher than what you typically might expect. You can see this one's even as high as $30 this week, $41 this week, but still 2 appointments during that time. You can see the appointments are pretty consistent, and the cost per lead, you can see it typically trends to start higher and then go down. And that's why you need to kind of let it run and not make super quick and rash decisions, because you see the cost per lead in the 5th week was 15 bucks. It started at 50 bucks. So if you just cut it there, you would have never known if your ads were working. See, even in the first week, we didn't get an appointment. And I'm showing you this because, again, I want to be transparent. It's totally normal. You see no appointments the first week, and then it slowly trends up. Cost per lead goes down. And that's what I mean. That's why you need to test and just give it time. So that's a big thing with it, giving it time. Now, next, here's the pros of YouTube ads. So what I'll say for sure, the targeting, you're able to actually geo-target people, not just a huge radius. You can even get more specific than zip codes. You can even do cities, you can do neighborhoods, you can do counties, you can do anything like that. You can even do tiny little 1 mile radiuses around areas if you want. But that's the big thing, is you can geo target, so you can target your exact market. Because why would you waste money on an area that you actually don't even want to target, right? You only want to target your ideal market where you want listings in. The next part is the actual targeting. So these are keywords that you can target. This is what I was talking about earlier, but you can target people who are looking up, I need to sell my home fast, how to sell your home fast, Zillow home value estimator. So we know, okay, they own a home and they're also looking to sell. So we're only reaching those people with motivation. And then again, right here, just reiterating the lead quality. I was just checking in with the client, how the lead's been so far. It's like he spoke with most. Unreal, got every single one on the phone. Have one guy booked for tomorrow, another booked for Monday, both in person. So far, definitely have the highest quality of anything I've seen, and that's honestly, it makes my day. It's so fulfilling seeing that, because that's what I put all my time into. But I'm not even saying like you need to work with me for that. I could care less if you do. I want to just show you that, hey, you can do this for yourself. And this is the big thing. Again, I practice what I preach. People are telling me about the lead quality, and it's just with the targeting and using kind of the systems that I'm showing you. And if you do want to learn more about it as well, or have me kind of implement this for you, just kind of learn more about it, feel free to check the link in the description below. My goal is I give you all this away for free. And if you do want me to kind of implement it for you, so you can just have someone who already knows how to do it, has all the strategies, we can have a chat, we can potentially work together. So links in the description for that. Anyways, now the cons of YouTube ads. Again, I don't just show you the highs, I show you the lows. First of all, the setup takes longer. It's not like a 1 day turnaround time. Usually takes 7 to 14 days to get everything launched, because you not only need to record the videos, we need to edit them, we need to kind of develop our strategies, get the scripting, all that sort of stuff. But having said that, usually what you put more time into is going to yield better results in the long run. So that's the way I see it. It's worth it, but again, it's not the quickest thing in the world if you're looking for that. Again, it won't work without a good video. Like I said, the video directly correlates to the results you're getting, which is why you need to have a good video. And lastly, you need a testing budget. So you can't expect to go spend $100 and get a listing, right? With anything. But even that, like some agents spend $500, don't really get anything. And then the next 500 they spend, because we find the winning ad with that initial amount, then we can kind of double down. Then they see a listing from the next 500, and it just kind of snowballs from there. But again, you need to have a testing budget. You need to be testing. Otherwise, you're honestly destroying your results without you realizing. You're going to put money into it, but not stay consistent with it, because you're not testing anything. So that's really important. Now, who are YouTube ads actually for? Well, I'm going to tell you again, it's not for newer agents, not for agents who don't have a proven sales track record, a good track record of closing deals. But if you are an agent who, number one, is experienced, you have a good track record with online leads, especially, you are going to do well with this. That's who I'd say this is for. But also, what I find is a lot of people that I work with are team leads, because it's such a unique selling proposition to have a system like this in your business where you can just use it for agent attraction. You can say, hey, you're getting your own personalized YouTube ad funnel based on you and your brand, and you're bringing in inbound calls each month. You spend X amount, you get Y in return. You spend X, you get a listing, and it's just very predictable and a very good way to scale if you're looking to grow your team as a team lead, right? That's what I found a lot. It's for team leads, agents with a lot of experience, brokers looking to grow their downline. That's what I've seen does really well with this. But the big thing is, if you have a good sales process, you're confident in what you do, you are going to do really well with this. And honestly, that's my ideal realtor, what I look for. Now, having said that, again, you can go do all of this yourself. I literally have my entire channel breaks every single thing down that I just showed you. You can go learn it for yourself. But having said that, again, there's really two ways you can pay for something: with time and money. I give you everything away. I give you information, but I sell implementation. So if you do want me to come in your business, basically set all this up for you, so you can just have it running on autopilot for you, get an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 listings a month with it, I also do guarantee results. Feel free to check the link in the description and just book a call. Again, it's no pressure at all, but just to see what questions you have, if it is a good fit, and kind of what type of results you can expect based on your market. But again, feel free to go check out all my other videos and just learn it yourself. I want to give you everything, so you don't need to pay someone to do this. But again, if you don't have the time, you want something that's proven, you can work with me or apply to work with me. Other than that, though, I really do appreciate you watching. I hope you got value from this video. I'll see you in the next one.